Today is Tuesday, November the 2nd, 2021. It's about 8:32 a.m. This, like all the other YouTube videos, is real important for you all to watch. This is when my son was contained by a Carbondale police sergeant by the name of Guy Draper. Guy Draper, you will see in a lot of the things during my son's death investigation, before and after. You will see a lot of things with him. I showed you some when my son was hanging. He taking photos like in the hallway beside my son's body. I covered my son's body so you couldn't see it. He the same one on March the 24th, 2016. 5 or 6 days after my son's death, or 5 days after my son's death, I came down and met with some of the Carbondale Police Department in the deputy corner for Jackson County, which covers Carbondale, and they took me on a tour of the area where my son was found hung. Guy Draper took me. Went to the funeral home to look at his body. Guy Draper there. Guy Draper, I want you to watch this video today. This is part of the thing that they have into evidence or on the death investigation. Out of all the time my son been arrested, this is one that I think it's one other one. But I want you to see how unprofessional Guy Draper is, and he's a supervising sergeant. To the right there is the back of the police car camera. To the left is the front of the police car camera. It was a call on March the 10th, 2021 concerning a black male with a red coat trying to enter into somebody's vehicle. But I want you to listen to this real good. All the police coming on the scene. Guy Draper runs into my son, and I want you to see how unprofessional he is. I want you to see first when he see Brian and have Brian to go over to the fence, which you couldn't see him in neither one of these cameras from the police car. But then he told him to come to the police car. I want you to see how he handled my son. I watched it close up to the left, but I'm going to keep both of these so you can see both of them. But I want you to just see the way he handled my son. You can tell it was hurting when he was handcuffing him because my son leaned it all the way on the car. But not only that, he get 2 calls. One, when he called and asked for the person that seen my son said my son was trying to get in the car, and the dispatcher, whoever the responding police was, over the radio, they told him that the person didn't want to press charges on my son, that the person just wanted him to get help. Then he called another police officer and asked him, did he want to bring the person over to identify Brian? Person told him the same thing. He said that the person said he didn't want to press any charges. He wanted to most so get Brian some help. But then after that, Brian should have been unhandcuffed, but he kept him handcuffed. Not only did he kept him handcuffed, he got to searching him down. He claimed in his report, he asked Brian, is it okay to pat him down? But most people that's afraid of Sergeant Draper, they're going to do anything that he says to do. But I want you to not only see that, but you see in the back, he going to put him in the back of the car with the handcuffs on, saying that he finna give him a ride to Good Samaritan, which is the homeless shelter that my son was living in. But at the same time, he telling the people over the radio before he get in the car, he said when they said that the people didn't want to press charges, he told them that Brian is on either methamphetamine or cocaine. And he ain't took no type of testing, so how do he know this here? But also, I want you to see how unprofessional he is. He put him in the car. Have no reason right now to have him in the car handcuffed. Didn't even put no seatbelt on the whole ride. You see what I'm saying? Then when he get him down as he was going, someone called and said that he had failed to register, and he never told Brian he was under arrest then, but he took him to the parking lot of the police department. And I want you to look and see how unprofessional he is then. Called my son dude, I said, a few times. You see what I'm saying? Then he said he was just trying to help my son. But listen to the call he made to the prosecuting attorney while Brian is still in the car waiting on the lady to register him. And then see how he kept on he telling them about cases from Chicago, which has nothing to do with this here. Then see how unprofessional he was. He was talking to a female who was assaulting, and you would see the female sooner or later tell him to leave her alone. But I want y'all to watch this real careful to see this is a guy is a supervising police officer, and I just want y'all to just see and listen. And look at the time. If you look real close at the time, it's about 2:42 on March the 10th, 2021. Look at this real good. This is a supervising sergeant. Look how unprofessional he is. Look how he had my son unsafely in the back seat for the whole duration. Then he said he told this prosecuting attorney that he think my son is on said he on methamphetamine or crack cocaine, but yet he still take my son to the homeless shelter. If y'all trying to give him some help, why would you take him to the homeless shelter when you claim you know? This is my son now, y'all. Pay close attention.
Hey, put your hands on the fence, Brian. Yeah, I'm about to tell you.
Okay, go ahead. 256 97 5.
Look at him, y'all. Watch it. You can tell it's hurting my son. You see how he go down. You see how high his hands lift up in there. But I guess they said that's procedure. Listen to these radio calls and listen what he says, y'all. Show you how unprofessional he is. And show you he mad because the people don't want to press charges on my son. They want him to get help.
10-4, can you give me the X-ray? The suspension. Yeah. 10-4.
303.
Go ahead.
I got Brian detained right now. Does your RP want to come by and do a show up or talk to us further about the situation?
Yeah, the RP was more concerned about Brian more than he was about talking to the officers.
303-437. Situation related more so to the consumption of methamphetamine or crack cocaine than anything else. 303-437. Go ahead. I just spoke with the RP. There's no charges here. We'd like him to get some help. Simple.
Two people done told him the person don't want the RP, the reporting person, don't want to press any charges. They was more so concerned about my son. People know my son needed help as far as this, and they using this here as if this is to show that he was suicidal. If he was suicidal, he'd have went at that sergeant gun. That sergeant is not liked by most whites and blacks in Carbondale, Illinois. Why is he still handcuffed?
37-03.
Why is he still handcuffed at this point when the dispatcher told him that the person is not worried about what Brian supposedly did? He more so worried about Brian. Then the other officer told him that the reporting person don't want to press charges. They just concerning about Brian getting help. And this police ain't even asked Brian, is you high for something? And you will see later in this video where he's told the prosecuting attorney he didn't ask Brian, was he high on anything? And he tell the prosecuting attorney the same thing. But he tried to bring up all other stuff from Mount Vernon, Centerville, Centralia, Chicago, don't have nothing to do with this here. Then he'd even bring up the fact that Brian was trying to get in somebody's car. If he was indeed trying to get in somebody's car, didn't nobody make no police report, and they wanted Brian to get help. The police department would tell y'all that they've been trying to help Brian. If you was trying to help Brian and you feel that he's acting erratic, like you gonna tell the prosecuting attorney, like you have in your police report, Brian he answered your command. You told him to get on the fence. He got on the fence. You pat on your car like he an animal or something. You know, come get on your car. He put his hands on your car. You look like he was trying to break his wrist, and he leaned all the way down on your car. You could see he telling you that the handcuffs was kind of tight. Now to the left, to the right, is the police's back of his car. Now watch when he put my son in there. You got seatbelts. Watch, this is a supervising sergeant, y'all. See him patting him down? He ain't under arrest. What is you doing all this here for? What is he still handcuffed for? Watch when he's telling he under arrest, y'all. When you're under arrest, they read you your Miranda rights. Many of people done told me things concerning this sergeant. Now watch when he put him in the car. You gotta see. You hear him tell him that they good. He good, but Brian ain't another police officer. They probably know what type of sergeant he is. Now why he ain't seatbelted? This is supervising sergeant. Imagine if he had another one of his officers with him on the training, and they would do the same thing.
Fuck all of you. You wanna go to Good Sam still, right? Right. Hey, look, they ain't like that shit. Look, just keep your ride over there, Jimmy. Do me a favor. Just say, oh, the girl? Go ahead, Chris. He is overdue on his offender registration. Can you take him here first before we can do that? Sir, again. Man, look. Would you let her know that I'm en route now, so she can meet in the parking lot or the lobby? Hey, listen, man, you got to register with us real quick at the PD, okay? Then you can head on over to Good Time. We're talking about here. The visitor law.
Good Sam is the homeless shelter that Brian stays in. Remember, this is 9 days before they allegedly found his body hung.
I couldn't even hear you, Jerry. You're overdue on your registration. So Sarah, one of the girls at the PD is going to sign you up real quick in the parking lot, and then you can walk over to Good Sam, okay?
Hear him say he can walk over to Good Sam. You see, he said he can walk over to Good Sam so he won't get in trouble.
Because if they want to be truthful, so to show the whole tape, they saying it's true. Yeah, well, you're overdue on your registration. I got you. We're not trying to make a big deal out of it, you know what I mean? I got you.
Now, you remember them exact words, what he said. You remember when my son just told him, if they want to do something, look at the whole tape of whatever's supposed to happen. But this guy talked, the sergeant said, we're not trying to get you in any trouble. But watch when he get him back to the parking lot, waiting on the lady to register him. And watch what he tell the prosecuting attorney, and y'all tell me, was he trying to get my son in trouble or not? The only offense right now is he just failed to register. But listen to this guy. Now you remember this stuff is being taped, and while Brian in the back of the car, listen real careful what he not just only calling my son dude, telling him to be still. You see what I'm saying? When Brian tell him the cuffs is uncomfortable, but you will see him hollering at a female, asking her about her being assaulted. Now he on tape saying this here. And you will hear her later telling him to leave her alone. This is in front of the police station. This is a supervising sergeant, y'all. Same one supervised the and supposed to seal off the area on March 19, 2021 when my son's body was found hung. And I showed y'all it wasn't sealed off. But you remember he said ain't nobody trying to get you in trouble. Listen to what he says to the prosecuting attorney, and you tell me he wasn't trying to get him in trouble. Then you gonna say what he owned, but yet instead of taking him to the hospital or going into a Good Samaritan home and telling them what you told the dispatcher and the prosecuting attorney, that he's either on meth or cocaine or both, because if you'd have went and told them that, he would have either went to the hospital or he couldn't have went back in Good Sam, because you can't go in there high. So they didn't care about him. He didn't care about him. The police department didn't care about him. You know my son got to be uncomfortable, sitting on the edge of that corner of this thing, and then no seatbelt on. I'm showing y'all this for a reason, because this is one of the things that they have in that big folder. And most of the video DVDs they have, they either blank or you can't hardly see or hear nothing. The only ones you can hear good is my YouTube videos that they recorded, Brian and Brian's Facebook thing that my daughter let them get, and then anything that's negative about Brian. But nothing in this and all that folder, nothing in there really show my son trying to commit suicide, not one time. Listen to this guy, y'all. This is a supervising sergeant, y'all. One that I know that's racist. See, he loved to have, out of all the arrests Brian got, they got this in here. And this shows nothing concerning suicide.
That'll be it. Thank you. Because I put him in moving status in Union County on February 12th. He never was there. They never registered him. And he had contacted Centralia on February 20th, where they found him on the ground. No one was actually taken.
Was he out of overdue then? In Centralia?
Yes. Technically overdue whenever I took him to Union County. Because before then, I had put him in moving status to Chicago. He had to be there.
Oh, they go to Chicago.
Well, I don't talk to you right now.
I'm sorry, hey, Sarah. Hey, I had a call. I apologize, man. I'm sorry. I tried to get that out. I'm sorry, Sarah. I promise you. And I mean it, though, Sarah. I promise you.
Let us figure this out. Let's talk.
I got you.
Hey, Michelle, what's up? How'd you know it was me? You got my number saved or something? Oh, what's going on?
That's the
I'm all right, I got a question for the
prosecuting attorney
I'm
office.
in
He
my
called.
car and I don't have that list with me. Thank you, ma'am.
That's the prosecuting attorney office he called him.
Chill out, dude.
No, these handcuffs say, I ain't going on.
All right, just relax. Sit still.
Now remember he said he wasn't trying to get him in trouble. Watch what he tell this prosecuting attorney, and he gonna be mad when the prosecuting attorney don't want to arrest my son. Just told him to give him a ticket so he can show up in court. He didn't like that.
Okay, cool. Hey, sir, it's Draper at the Carbondale PD. How are you? Well, I have a question for you. So I'm here with Brian Johns, and he was the subject of a complaint from a motorist. Essentially what was happening is a guy was driving down the street and may or may not stop at an intersection or getting ready to make a turn or something, and Brian tried to enter his vehicle. The guy probably a combination of methamphetamine and crack cocaine. Yeah, one or the other. Maybe not both at the same time. I'm not sure. I haven't asked him. So anyways, the complainant indicated he didn't want Brian arrested. He did not want Brian arrested, but he simply just wanted him to get some help. So, I had detained him because of his erratic behavior before I knew all of that, and I offered to give Brian a ride to wherever he was staying. That place is the Good Samaritan Home. On my way there, I get a call from Carbondale. It says that he is overdue for his violent murderer registration status. The problem with that is that in the past we've issued citations and kind of cut him loose from the PD. In this situation, he earlier in the year met with officials here at the police department. They registered him as moving status to go to Union County at one point in time. He had contacted the police there. Then he left there and went to Centralia. He had contact with the police in Centralia, but never registered up there. And then is now back in Chicago. He was supposed to be going to, he's now back in Carbondale. He was supposed to be going to Chicago, but allegedly it's up in the air right now as to whether or not he made it. So he's doing a lot of traveling, and he's out of compliance. I can write him a ticket and give him a new court date and just drop him off in Good Sam. But I'm calling because it's more of a unique situation than anything else. Okay. Yes, sir. Thank you. Bye. Write him a ticket. Take him to Good Sam. Right now? You got paperwork to do with him? You can open that back door. It's unlocked. Carbondale 303.
What, you're not going to look at me?
Oh, that's
Ryan!
overkill. That's overkill.
You don't mind, show Brian.
That's too much.
How's it too much?
Look, I'm real sorry. I haven't touched my car. I promise you that.
Listen, I'm not here about the car. I'm here about your registration and how you haven't been keeping up with that.
Finish
Oh,
it.
that's all. I know you've been
I
there.
got you.
Okay, thank you. You're
Code 4, your case number is 866. No, 866.
For robbery in Centralia. I know all this.
Okay.
So don't act like I don't.
Hey, can I get something to drink, please?
Something to drink?
Yes, ma'am.
See you in just a minute.
Hey, Brian, listen, okay?
Oh, I got you.
You're under arrest right now for violation of the Registration Act, okay?
Got you.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to write you this ticket. I'm going to give you a ride to Good Sam, all right?
Alright.
But I need you to talk to Sarah so she can do your registration and get you lined out, okay?
Alright.
So how long are you planning on staying here?
I'm good right now. I'm upstairs now.
As long as you can?
Yeah.
Okay. At the Good Sam?
Mm-hmm.
So that means that you come and check in with me weekly, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Hey, Sarah, Sean George, one of I was over there, Sean George and Mary took my phone.
Okay.
Alright.
So you don't have a phone right now?
No, they got my phone.
Are they going to give it back?
No.
Okay.
That's why I was over there on
Jamila!
So,
What's going on? I heard you got beat up the other day.
Why do you know me by my name? That is not okay.
It's my job. Are you alright?
Yeah, I'm fine.
I didn't know you guys were still keeping that going. I thought it was all dead and done that day. We got the dogs, all that.
Yeah, it was. Remember
You're going after Sycamore?
No,
But this was just the other day, right? Your eyes still bloody.
Leave me alone.
701 South Marion?
Yeah. Okay, so 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, St. Patrick's Day. You come back in here and meet with me. Let me know if you get a phone and a phone with your phone number.
Yes.
I'm going to go make your copy of this paperwork and I'll be right back, okay?
You bring some drink, I think.
We'll wait for you.
Okay.
Hey, David, can I walk over there? His hand was hurt.
What'd you say, bud?
Can I say if I walk over there? I'm because that's when somebody was gentleman. His hand was hurt.
No, just give me 5 minutes, dude. I'm going to write you this ticket and I'm going to let you go.
Alright.
I'm trying to hustle, man. I'm sorry.
Alright, got you.
Hey, Brian, do you have a middle name?
Ma.
Lamar?
Yeah.
Carbondale Creektown.
Creektown, go ahead.
Will you show 431 tonight out at 509 East Willow Street? Follow up, please.
What?
No. Anybody do that to you, I'll take the charge. Are you going over here because he's going to let me out?
Oh, you're going to about to get out? Okay.
Yeah.
No, I'm not. I'm taking him to Good Sam.
Spit out your cigarette.
They ain't even lit, that's all I got.
That's fine. Spit it in your lap. Boy, I'm about to give you a drink. Take what you get. Is that good for now?
About to give you a drink. Take what you can
Okay.
get. Top, drop on the
Here's
ground,
that.
and put it back on and put it in his lap.
This is your paperwork.
Oh, that's right. He homeless.
Next
That's
week,
how they
the
treat
17th,
homeless people.
Wednesday.
But that's Carbondale Police Department.
Today's the 10th. You want him to just add this with your ticket?
Do you happen to have the statute on there?
Um,
I can Google it if you don't.
What is he still being handcuffed for right now?
Is it on their paperwork or something?
no. Sometimes.
They was concerned about my son, and they seen his condition right now. Remember, this is March the 10th, 2021, 9 days before they allegedly found him home.
Yeah, there's people set up over by the island.
Guess who was the last one that said that they seen him alive? This same sergeant said he seen him on his way to work on March the 19th, 2021, about 7:14 on the corner of East Main and North Wall Street.
It is 7:30. It is even more so in the mask. Come on, where you at now? Duties are registered. 7:30 ILCS 154/10. 7:30.
Y'all see how long he been in the car handcuffed?
Next Friday, right?
No, on St. Patrick's Day, dude.
I got this on the paper.
Before you go get a
I'm
beer,
gonna go to
stop
sleep.
by the PD.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to sleep. I'm gonna get it right. I got a calendar.
Are you going to be high?
You want to write his
Hell no.
court date on there or no? It's going to be 3/24. And then the 7 days after that, you got court at 1 o'clock.
Guys.
Maybe you'll see me that day too.
No pay, no
Alright.
bail.
I see you everywhere. Like, you follow me at Walmart.
Boy.
You got a truck in the place on me.
Hey,
And Murfreesboro. Like, what you doing? I paused. I couldn't see shit.
Hey, you never know when we're watching, dude.
And then
Dude,
you got
dude,
That
dude.
day too.
I bet you halfway. Yeah,
You
you
were
like
trying
over
to go in
there.
that house,
He
man.
like the fence. What I do all day, I'm like, fuck. I gotta do
Please
time.
don't be high next week when you
Yeah,
come in.
dude.
I really don't like it.
I know.
You know, it makes me upset.
It's probably fun for you, though, right?
Man, it turned into a
Huh?
It turned into a journey.
Yeah, Journey?
Yeah.
Not a good one.
Because I was over there on Sycamore. I was finna put them in line.
Yeah, I bet.
You need to stay away from here.
Yeah.
Do not go back there.
No, I'm not. I promise you that.
Okay.
Try to keep the fox from the hen house.
Yes.
Not happening.
You know who's the sergeant now?
Huh?
You know who's the sergeant now?
Who?
Kingo.
Oh, y'all done let me know that. He probably been following me too.
We tried to call you to get approval to do that,
I'm
but
going to let him know where you are.
Alright, bet.
Then, bye.
Alright.
bye.
Alright.
Carbondale 303.
County last.
Clear the PD with John and route to good man.
Stand by.
He's not caring about my son's safety. You see in the back of the car, you know he wasn't concerned about my son's safety. He keep telling everybody that my son is high off of methamphetamine, acting erratic, and off of cocaine. Then why would you take him to a homeless shelter? Why is he still handcuffed?
411.
He done told you he'll walk. But why is he still handcuffed?
310, 303.
He should have been unhandcuffed over 15 minutes ago.
Pretty sure Quantes McGee just walked into the lobby of the police department out of a red SUV on the parking lot, probably, I'm guessing, in reference to the impounded vehicle.
I tried to talk to him about his incident last Tuesday.
201, 303, direct. Carbondale 303.
10-4, about 10 minutes before he told him about call me in.
10-4. I am at Good Sam with Mr. John.
10-4.
Carbondale 452 business check.
I'm not too bad.
Hey, Linky.
4.
Didn't have him in the seat belt at no time in the back of the car. Handcuffed him in the beginning, and when he was told twice by dispatching another officer that the reporting person didn't want to press charge, they wanted my son to get help. Yet he tell him that he's using or high off of methamphetamine and cocaine. Why did he keep him handcuffed? What did he put him in the car in the beginning for at first at all? But this is Sergeant Guy Draper. And I know a lot of people that watches my YouTubes, they have complaints about him. A lot of people that inbox me have complaints about him. But you know, I understand how some of y'all are afraid, because if they ain't listening to me, we know they ain't gonna listen to y'all, and we know they'll probably threaten y'all, and they know I ain't worried about their threats, nor their jails. Now he done just let a person that he said that's been erratic behavior, high off of methamphetamine and cocaine, and he taking him and dropping him off, not going inside to a homeless shelter. If he erratic behavior, then that means he's a danger to them people. But I want y'all to pay close attention to this. This is just one of a few things that they got in here. This is what they have in their death investigation. Sergeant Draper is in most of all of it, y'all.